Today, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee will be delivering his sixth State of the State address. Veteran political analyst Linda Peek-Schacht is live on the phone with us this morning. Linda, good morning, and thank you for being here. This is coming on the heels of the governor's trip to Texas to the border over the weekend. So what do you think the timing of this all says about the direction that the State of the State addresses are heading in terms of their audience?
Well, I think across the country, State of the State addresses have become part of the national debate. And with immigration front and center today, I suspect the governor will talk about his trip to the southern border and his commitment to send Tennessee National Guard troops there in support of the Texas governor's defiance of the Supreme Court ruling. It's part of that whole security thing that he will use.
And I know another topic, he released a kind of a snapshot of what the speech is going to be entailing. And he talked about education and particularly the school vouchers. Talk a little bit more about, why this is so important to the governor and what we can expect from the address tonight on that topic.
Well, I expect him to answer some of the criticisms of the program after the legislation was leaked last week. I expect him to tell us how he's going to pay for giving $7,000 to every homeschool student and those in private and religious schools, and to answer the criticism about measurement and accountability.
Yeah, we've definitely heard a lot of criticism about that proposal since it came out, for sure. Another topic that the governor is going to be touching on, budget and finances, and he's going to be touting some of the success of Tennessee. What can we expect from that topic as well?
Well, in addition to touting the successes, I think he's going to tell Tennesseans how he's being physically responsible to replace the lost revenue from the end of the state excise tax that was ruled unconstitutional. I don't expect him to respond to the Democrats' call in their rebuttal for an end to the grocery sales tax. And I suspect that he may address in another area the problems with the Department of Children's Services.
Why do you think he's going to be addressing DCS at this point, Linda?
Well, I think it's hard to have a State of the State after a year like DCS has had without acknowledging and saying, here are some of the things we're doing to address the problem. When it's been in the news the way it has, I think it's incumbent on the governor to at least acknowledge it and say, here are some of the things we're doing.
Okay. Let me ask you this as well, Linda. What do you think the overall message is that Governor Lee is trying to send about himself and about his leadership here in Tennessee during the State of the State address tonight?
Well, he's always said last year and even the year before that Tennessee is leading the nation. And so he's going to talk about where Tennessee is leading the nation, particularly on fiscal responsibility. And he's going to focus continuing his themes for the last several years on rural opportunity and a focus on bringing more opportunity to rural counties in Tennessee. What's new this year is a focus on Tennessee's music, and I think that's going to be a really interesting section of his speech tonight.
Okay, Linda, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight as always. Remember, folks, you can see this interview again at WKRN.com, and then our state capitol reporter, Chris O'Brien, will be covering the State of the State address very closely tonight. So look for live coverage here on News 2 and at WKRN.com.